A great main event caps off a show where the roaring crowd certainly elevated the card. I'm John Retton with my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Began in Osaka event. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. And a couple quick things to get out of the way in regards to New Japan's Battle in the Valley next week, because that's on the same night as WWE Elimination Chamber, and I review WWE, AEW, and New Japan content when I can. Battle in the Valley, if I decide to review it, that review will probably not be up until sometime Sunday afternoon, evening. So if so, I hope you understand. And in regards to future New Japan Pro Wrestling content, I'm going to play it by ear. It depends on energy, when I have time, and also level of interest. Because there are some great things going on in New Japan. It seems like they're shoring things back up. The cheering crowds certainly have elevated the shows. But it just depends. I can only stretch my time so much. I can only put my time in so many places because time is limited and I have some personal things to take care of. So I hope you guys understand if there are any gaps in regards to reviewing New Japan content. That being said, pretty damn good event overall. A bit shocking with the sixth match. Didn't think they were going to go that route. Certainly opens possibilities for where could the Switchblade go. I mean, he's going to be on the Battle in the Valley card. Maybe he could be part of the New Zealand brand for right now, since he is from there. He is a Kiwi, after all, not a Kiwi bird. That would be quite amusing, but, well, we gotta get to the card, though, because eventually we'll talk about Jay White. By we, I mean me, and let me know what you think Jay White is going to end up doing. Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton doing remote commentary. The Great Okan and Aaron Hanare against Yano and Oscar Loibe. And it's going to take me a while to get that right. I'm probably just going to call him Oscar. Apparently he's from Germany. He is a big lad. I saw him take on Okan, I believe is at one of the two New Japan, or New Beginning in Sapporo events. I forget which one exactly because I did those two shows, Human Centipede, together. But he's got some size. He's got some ability. It's going to take him time, obviously. But he's got some good fire. And Rampage from Hanare 1, 2, 3. There you go. Typical fare. Hopefully Hanare can get a good run in the New Japan Cup and in the G1. Shota Umino, Tiger Mask Taguchi, and Hanma versus LIJ. So Naito, Sonata, Bushi, and Hiromu, minus Shingo because he's in the main event. It is nice that Shota has a unique entrance, coming through the crowd and everything. Okay, not exactly like the most original thing, but going off the Jon Moxley thing, going through the crowd. Him getting embraced by the crowd, giving wristbands to kids, that's cool. The Naito chants, really nice to hear the crowd again. I didn't realize how much I miss the cheering crowds in Japan until they started doing them again. I mean, I realized that they were sorely missed, but good grief, it's just so nice to hear it. And it's the usual fare. Hanma's lube came into play at one point. Multiple times people were grossed out by Hanma's lube. They didn't want to have Hanma's lube on their hands. I'm going to keep saying Hanma's lube until you're all as uncomfortable as I am thinking about Hanma's lube. Oh boy. Oh, that was Hanma should not be wrestling anymore. He can't do anything. He can't do a damn thing. Shota is going to be huge. It's just going to take time with him. We get a melee, the usual melee in these multi-man matches. Time Bomb 2 on Taguchi wins it. I don't know if Taguchi just didn't want to go up or was trying to sandbag him or what, but man, Hiromu didn't look very happy after that. So, a VTR with the bad child Lio Rush, fitting because he never actually grew up past the height of a child that is about 8 years old. He challenges Hiromu, and Hiromu says, "Sounds good to me." Because Hiromu just doesn't give a shit. The man wrestled the rest of a match against Dragon Lee at the Cow Palace with a broken neck. And somehow survived. I don't know how he survived that and how he came back from that. But anyway, then he rushes to the back thinking Lio Rush is there. And then Naito and Bushi joke around that Milano Collection AT is Lio Rush. No, Milano even sitting down is taller than Lio Rush. Taiji Ishimori versus Master Wato. They are going to keep trying with Master Wato no matter what. He really does need a gimmick change. I mean, he's good in the ring. He's got some pizzazz. I just don't know what the hell his gimmick is. I don't know what a Grandmaster is. I don't think he knows what a Grandmaster is. I don't think the company knows what the Grandmaster is supposed to be. But anyway. Wato does a dive to a pop. This is after getting his shoulder focused on because Ishimori is going to zone in on with exposed buckle shots, and he was going to want to, target the bone. He was going to seize the bone like Jack the Giant Killer, the Rift Tracks episode. And we got the bone lock. We got a reversal for 2. We got the high German. That's what Wato should use as a finish. That high German. Beautiful. He really should use that more often. But eventually, Bloody Cross. 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. There you go. So far, typical show. Things pick up a little bit with Tanahashi versus Kenta. I love Kenta's boss battle theme. It's just like an RPG where you had the ultimate final boss battle. And the crowd being very vocal, split between both actually, because there's a bit of a cheering section there for Kenta, but Tana getting a good majority of cheers. I know I've said this for the last couple of years. This really does feel like Tana's last big year of being in main events. This really does. Because he's going to be, 45 this year? His knees are held together with super glue and duct tape. His bicep is basically like nothing but scar tissue. That wish you saw sarcasm, Mr. Know-It-All. And close your eyes, the doctor will, slice you and try to fix your bicep. And that was a terrible rendition of that Red Hot Chili Pepper song. The whole point is he's got that iron will, but I'm just worried. I want him to be able to walk and enjoy life with his children. I do have one question. When did Tana lose his front teeth? Or am I imagining things and he actually hasn't lost his front teeth? Because I swear I saw that he doesn't have any front teeth. Has that been the case for a while and he has fake teeth that have not been... I'm confused. I'm legit confused. What match did this happen in? Let me know so I can go back and watch this, because maybe I've just watched too much goddamn wrestling, old and new, and just haven't got, and I just have forgotten something that I saw right in front of my eyes as opposed to right behind my eyes. So Kenta kept going for broke. We got a drop kick in the corner as Tanahashi was staring up at the spotlight. And then we got 2 bukkake knees. Wait, that's not what it says. Oh, wait, no, bukkake knees. Right in the face. Big old load of bukkake right in the face. Really treading a dangerous line here. Good thing I don't monetize my channel. And then, of course, Kenta decides to anger Tanahashi with a volley of repeated strokes to the head. 2 sling blades, though, just for a 2 count. We get aces high and high, fly, flow, and Tana's knees are saying, Tana, we don't have much left, please. Ow. 1, 2, 3. Tanahashi gets a victory. That plays into the main event later. House of Torture, Yujiro, Evil, and Show with Dick Togo against Suzuki, El Desperado, and Ren Narita for the Never Openweight 6-Man Championship. So, look, Narita gets attacked, and Dick inserts himself from behind, and we get bullshit. Because House of Torture always involves bullshit. Now, I know what the point of this was, and yes, it had a decent finish. I'm sorry, but it's not like, oh, I hate House of Torture, I want to see them beat. I don't want to see House of Torture anymore. I don't want to see House of Torture. I want to see Bullet Club. I don't mind seeing the participants doing other stuff, but this is tired. There was a triple submission spot, and eventually Narita got Yujiro tap out because they were the legal competitors, and there you go. Suzuki hugs him. Big Suzuki chants, me no Ru, me no Ru. That was really nice to hear. And a hug from Suzuki, the new Never Openweight 6-Man champions, and good. You know what? That's good. I'm happy about that. Because you might as well try to do something good with the championships. Have them hold them at least until August. I mean, I would argue actually just have them hold them until Wrestle Kingdom or something like that and give them something to do. But you might want to give Minoru Suzuki one last run in the G1. Maybe, kinda, sorta. I don't know. Video packages and entrances for Hikuleo with Jado against Jay Whito with Gato. Loser leaves Japan. Let me just say right now, this wasn't a bad match. I have stated my opinions on Jay White and stick by them. That being said, I get why he has his fans. He's not a bad wrestler. I personally find him boring, even though he is technically well sound. So he did make Hikuleo look like a world beater. I mean, he was just flying for everything, those heavy chops, all that stuff. Gato interfered just long enough for Jay White to take over, beat him down, and, hit him in the post. The echoing chops, though, I heard those when they did New Japan Strong tapings about 13 months ago in historic Washington Hall. I always do that because Washington Hall is a freaking dive of a goddamn venue. If you've ever been there, it's a great atmosphere if you don't mind climbing stairs, and if you've got bad knees, and you're like me, and I know I am, and you don't like climbing stairs, you hate it. But, big power slam, Hikuleo hurt his knee, The whole point is I heard those chops, and I mean, I heard those chops maybe 20 feet away. I felt them in my feet. But a ref bump, a low blow, big shock. And then we get a Blade Runner, but Jay can't make the cover. Then he tries to pick up Hikuleo, but that's like picking up a large load of dead weight. Because Hikuleo is a very large man. And then we get a big power bomb. 1, 2, no. And then we get stalling, we get stuff, reversals. But then Hikuleo's got him, he's going to hit something, and then Jay does this, does it too sweet, and then boom, big old choke slam, 1, 2, 3. You what? Jay White's gone from Japan. Jay White's gone from New Japan. Unless they find a way to go back on this, and they have it where OJ has to leave Japan. His swan song might be at Battle in the Valley, but he goes to the New Japan, New Zealand brand. Now the question is, what the hell happens with Jay White? Because he fist bumped Tanahashi. Apparently, he said in backstage comments. I saw little clips. I don't know what else he said, but thank you, New Japan. You know, New Japan fans are my family. New Japan's my home. But thank you. And you know what? What else could he have done? He was a U.S. champion. He was the never openweight champion, 2-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. One time for 7 weeks, but still, he was a bridge from Tanahashi to Okada at G1 Supercard 2019. And then he became champion at Dominion last year, and then lost it at Wrestle Kingdom. I did not think that he was going to leave, but you know what? There isn't really much else for him to do. If he goes to AEW, he's got friends there. If he goes to WWE, he's got that built-in feud with Finn Balor and other people. Him and AJ Styles could have a hell of a goddamn feud. If Jay gets hotshot to the main roster, he could be a guy to take out Edge. There are plenty of possibilities that they could do in regards to Jay White. What do you think is going to happen with Jay White? Answers in the comments. In the meantime, El Phantasmo taking on Tama Tonga Never Openweight Championship. Do we get serious ELP or do we get goofy ELP? We pretty much got serious ELP. He's put away a lot of the antics. Now, he brings out the antics for the multi-man matches, but that's fine. El Phantasmo has really risen up as far as, having a tremendous 2022. Ended up being one of my favorite wrestlers of the year for what that means. Doesn't really mean anything because I'm just one fan. I'm just a one-man fan. Didn't really do too good a service to the Heath Slayer song, but nevertheless. Angering Tama is never a good idea, but Tama Tonga did try to do a dive and crashed right into the guardrail, scaring people, and they never came back to their seats. Good, that's good. Scare the paying customers, wrestlers. Good job. They give them a lot of space out there, and they still say, we're going to hurl ourselves at the fans. Whee! El Phantasmo kept focusing on Tama's bad hand because he injured it during that dive. And they kept doing some nice move trade. This was a pretty good match for the Never Openweight Championship, which has had its ups and downs, in all honesty. There were strikes aplenty. Brainbuster for 2. We got big sudden death out of nowhere. Big super kick for 2. And then El Phantasmo... He just keeps going. He keeps going. Hits the CR2. 1, 2. Kick out. We get the gun stun for a 2 count. Holy shit. And it looks like El Phantasmo might actually, beat him. It's like he kicked out of the gun stun. Nope. Jay Driller to honor the late, great Jay Briscoe. 1, 2, 3. Tama Tonga retains the Never Openweight Championship. Now the question is, what are they going to do with Hikuleo? I mean, he's still there. I don't know what they're going to do with him. But good stuff. I mean, I'm not upset about Tama Tonga retaining. I'm a bit surprised. I'm still a bit surprised Jay White lost. And then we get Okada versus Shingo. After the entrances and everything, Shingo gains big entrance, Okada gains big entrance, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Tremendous stuff. One of my favorite matches of the year easily. This was great shit because it's Shingo and Okada. And to think that Shingo is 40 years old and still performing at this high level after being in Dragon Gate and doing his stuff and coming over to New Japan in 2018, going on an undefeated streak in the Super Junior, in the Super Junior division or the Junior Heavyweight division, and then moving up to Heavyweight and just being great ever since. Not that he didn't already have a tremendous career where he proved how great he was in Dragon Gate and during his excursions to Ring of Honor, but he's on a goddamn different level here. Though Okada is just a little bit higher, for he is the Rainmaker, and we will all bow to him because Okada will continue to reign supreme in New Japan. And no, that's not a pun. I mean that. I don't see anybody topping Okada, at least for the next 5 to 7 years. Because Okada's 32? And I mean, 40 he might slow down. I mean, he did have that back injury a couple of years ago. We'll see. But Shingo, he had the crowd more on his side. He had a DVD on the outside. We did get a more heelish Okada. I mean, yes, the crowd was going to cheer for Okada eventually, but he was a lot more heelish here because he leaned into it, because he's smart like that. Made in Japan for 2. Big pop. And Shingo, he was feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Good old reference right there. And we got a trap pin by Okada. We got a variation of a landslide. Rainmaker got countered to a Last of the Dragons. 1, 2. Ooh, really close there. And then we got the Inoki and Zaguri kick. Oh no, Okada's actually going to pull it off like Inoki did. That was really easy for me to say. Drop kick, and then we got some lariats. We got big move after big move. We got a Cobra Flosion and Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. Big time main event. Really good shit. Okada, thanks Shingo, says New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to continue to reign supreme. The spirit of professional wrestling, all that, according to translations from Chris Charlton, because I speak absolutely no no Japanese, that is. I speak absolutely no Japan, nor do I speak any actual grammar. But then he says, hey, who should I face in San Jose? Hey, Tana, you want to go one more round, basically? And Tana agrees. That's where I noticed he doesn't have his front teeth anymore. What happened to Tana's front teeth? I'm just curious. But, again, pretty damn good event overall. Pretty good main event. I don't know what's going to happen with all the future New Japan coverage. It just totally depends on time. If I can review the New Japan Cup, I will. Battle in the Valley, like I said. It's going to depend on interest. You can leave a comment if you want me to review it. I'll probably put a poll up on Twitter at some point and just say, do you want me to review it? Maybe I'll put a poll on this review. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, though. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.